Next up, a new report showing 40% of Clinton Foundation donors got advisory positions at Hillary Clinton's State Department. And that's a whopping 194 donors. This as new evidence tying former President Bill Clinton's speaking fees with Clinton Foundation business. Here's an example. The International Fragrance Industry Foundation paid the former president more than $250,000 for less than an hour-long speech. Then just months later, the Clinton Foundation organized and partially funded a program to help the fragrance industry out. I'd like to introduce my guest, Vince Coglianese. He's executive editor of the Daily Caller. Vince, what's your take on this?
Well, and the Clinton side of this thing, it's amazing to look at this lime industry thing. So basically, the fragrance industry appears to need a lot of help, which is there's this global lime shortage. So it's real easy. They gave $250,000 to Bill Clinton, and a little while later, the Clinton Foundation gives $250,000 to a project whose job is to grow more limes in Haiti because the fragrance industry desperately needs them. And this is an instance where Bill Clinton directly benefited financially, and the fragrance industry, by extension, directly benefited financially, all under the guise of charitable work. The Clinton Foundation, of course, pleads innocence in this case, saying that neither of these things are connected. But clearly, the evidence is very, very suspicious.
Now, I want you to react to the Trump campaign. They put out a statement on this, quote, Bill and Hillary Clinton should return every penny from that exorbitantly paid speech, and they should explain this latest example of corrupt dealing at the Clinton Foundation. That comes from Jason Miller. He's senior communications advisor. So do you think they should return the money?
Well, that's a question for them to answer. But I do think that the suspicion that surrounds the Clintons when it comes to the way money goes in and out of the Clinton Foundation has created a lot of problems for them. And you just cited a number a second ago about these a little under 200 people who received appointments in the Clinton State Department, all these advisory boards who were also donors to the Clinton Foundation. But we at the Daily Caller, we also found that 205 Clinton donors actually received invites to prestigious White House state dinners during Hillary Clinton's tenure as Secretary of State. So again and again and again, we see all of this money flowing into the Clinton Foundation, and then people are now buying access to power. And in general, defenders of the Clintons say, that's totally fine. This is what happens in politics. But voters, meanwhile, are looking at this and scratching their heads and going, why do we want more of this? Why do we want people buying access to our politicians?
Vince, I'd like you to take a listen to this and give me your reaction afterward.
On advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer and assert my Fifth Amendment privilege.
Okay, that's a tech specialist. He was working on Hillary Clinton's email server. Again, this is the guy who had invoked his Fifth Amendment right not to testify for Congress. But now we find out that this expert, this aide, asked for help stripping out a very important person's email address in an online chat room. And that's according to a new report. He reportedly asked Reddit users, quote, I may be facing a very interesting situation where I need to strip out a VIP, meaning very important person's email address, from a bunch of archived email. Basically, they don't want the VIP's email address exposed to anyone. Does anyone have experience with something like this and or suggestions on how this might be accomplished? And we have another post that reads, quote, I have a client who wants to push out a 60-day email retention policy for certain users. How would I go about that? Now, remember, Hillary Clinton's team decided to reduce the time frame in which the Hillary emails were retained to 60 days around the time of that post. So, Vince, what do you make of this? Is this suspicious?
Yeah, is it? I mean, look, if the Clintons were orchestrating a cover-up, they picked the biggest bumbling idiot, apparently, to handle it, because he goes in a public forum, asks for how to delete evidence that people like Hillary Clinton were even on the emails. He was ordered at one point by the Clintons to delete the emails that he had in his possession, and then he didn't. And then as soon as Congress was like, hey, we want those emails, that's when he said he has, to use a cleaner phrase, his oh crap moment to delete the emails, and he deleted them after a subpoena from Congress for copies of them. So every step of the way, this guy is sort of screwed up in records compliance, and it also shows a tremendous amount of evidence that the Clintons were very, very concerned that the details of those emails would get out. And if those emails were just routine and not classified, why would anyone be concerned about their contents escaping into the public?
All right. Thank you, Vince Coglianese. Really appreciate your time.